All right, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our Thunder Valley 450 post-race press conference with our top three today. Our winner, Jet Lawrence, second place, Hunter Lawrence, and third place, Justin Cooper. We're going to start things off. Justin Cooper, we had a conversation last week in the airport. We talked about your starts. We talked about your confidence level, and we talked about your raw speed right now. What's the combination that you've been able to find? What was the key to put those three things in action?
Yeah, I'm kind of just building off the 250 days. That's kind of what I'm known for. So, yeah, it's been a good building two races, I would say. And, yeah, just finding my flow more and more each week. And definitely felt really good today. Ran out with about 5 minutes to go in each moto. I started hurting, but, yeah, I tried to get away for, the time I could.
Well, I got to tell you, you look great. You look fantastic. We see the progress every week. Congratulations today, bud.
Thank you.
Hunter Lawrence, I have to tell you, bro, I got to tell you, I am so impressed. I think you're custom made for the 450. I think your progress on the 450, I think the improvement you've shown early this season is absolutely phenomenal. And just the adjustment, it seemed like no adjustment. You simply got off of one bike onto the next. How's it feel to you?
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, you explained it pretty well. There's nothing really much I can add to that, honestly. We made some big changes on the bike this week with the team, and that was a really good step, and obviously today it's shown. So that's always a good feeling when you probably don't really want to test a bunch during the week. You just want to get in, do your laps and stuff, but we did it and it works out well. So, yeah, that's probably the biggest thing.
Impressive, and congratulations to you. Fantastic ride today. And Jet, you gave props to Doc G today. Everybody saw. We watched it a million times over and over again. And it wasn't just a pounding. I mean, you got clipped right away. You got punched in the face first. Then it threw you down. Then it spiked you afterwards. And relaxed a little bit. Got some therapy this week, I'm sure. And my goodness, you come out here and you turn the tables 180.
Yeah, it was a rough one last weekend for sure, but yeah, during the week it was like we like to call it a bit of a stiff kitty throughout the week and kind of doing therapy, and I couldn't see G too much during the week because I was in Florida. I had to do some testing and try some other things in the suspension, and yeah, we got here Thursday, wait till Friday. G landed straight to the hotel. He did his magic, got me feeling better. Even Friday before we see him, we did press and it was looking rough, I can tell you that. But G's got them magic hands and helped a lot. So just super happy and grateful that I was. It could have been way worse, and I got lucky with it. So definitely thankful.
One last question.
You seen him ride? He was fine.
No doubt. That was going to be my comment. I thought you might just kind of let the race come to you, but it seemed like you rode the position you were in, and when you felt ready, you just made the typical Jet move.
Well, the second one more so, my legs were already shot. So I was a bit lazy riding at the start. There's any outside that was flat. I was just sitting and kind of bounced on the bumps a bit. And I knew I had to keep Hunter close because he was right there in front of me. Chase had a charge at the start, ended up going down, but I just knew I had to stay there. And in midway through that second mile, I'm like, do I just stay here for third? But got to try and make points up, and I'm like, I'll just try and stay and see if someone comes up. And Hunter made a small mistake, and he relaxed in that section, was able to get him there. And I'm like, okay, I got to get Justin because otherwise Hunter's going to get me back. So I sprinted, and yeah, ended up getting Cooper with a few laps to go, and it was just head down, just keep on charging. So it was an all-around pretty good day, I have to say.
Well, it was a lot of fun to watch, no question about that. Congratulations. Right now, we'll open it up to the floor.
This is a question for Justin. Justin, you had a breakthrough ride today, getting both hole shots. How much of a difference does it make to get the lead early like that and set the pace compared to trying to hang on to the leader or the lead group?
Yeah, it's definitely nice to get clean air. I think everyone agrees with that. The first moto was, it felt like I was able to get away. So that was nice, and as soon as I tried to settle in, I kind of lost my pace, and that's where it kind of came back to bite me. I just couldn't pick it back up, which kind of regret now, but I tried to change that for Moto 2 and just keep the hammer down, and yeah, eventually got pretty tired there at the end, and those guys were still charging.
What do you think's the main difference in leading in the 450 class versus the 250 class?
I mean, there's guys behind you that are coming for you. So, it's I tried to run and hide in both motos, but I got caught. So overall, it was a really good day. It doesn't feel too much different than leading a 250 moto. Just bigger bike and a lot more to hold on to.
All right, this question's for Jet. Jet, you had a rebound ride this weekend. How much pain were you still in from last weekend, and how did you manage that throughout the day?
I think a lot of riders can agree with this. Once you get the adrenaline going, it kind of helps a lot. But the biggest kind of problem for me in the riding side of things was my shoulder. Just kind of had no strength. Dr. G taped it up for me, trying to hold it up a bit so it doesn't give out in those impacts. And then my leg was actually pretty okay. It was more so my hip too. But it was good enough to obviously ride and just kind of keep my head down. I knew if I can just focus on my riding, that stuff kind of mentally block out that pain. It helped a lot. But we would much rather be 100% and kind of use all my skills. So it's kind of a little sucky, kind of holding back with a few things, like not getting back and that stuff. Obviously, just bounce on the bumps on my butt. So, but no, it's definitely a lot better than last week. I can say that.
You talk about being mentally focused. Did you notice that your side plate fell off during the race?
I actually didn't notice that. I thought the guys took it off for the podium to give it away or something. I'm like, where's my side plate? He's like, it fell off. So I didn't even know that. I don't know how it came off, but hey, Honda still goes good. So yeah.
All right, this one's for Hunter. Hunter, you have the red plate for the first time in the 450 class. This has to be an amazing feeling as it's been a long road to get here. You seem to have found somewhat of a new gear. Was this intensity just building from Supercross? You had some strong rides towards the end of the season leading into outdoors.
Yeah, for sure. It's cool, you know. I feel like I would have been more stoked on an overall than grabbing the red plate, weirdly enough. But no, still a great day. And yeah, I mean, through Supercross right around Phoenix, Dallas, we started to really get a lot better. And then I had that crash at Daytona, and it kind of like delayed the progression. And then just kind of building through the Supercross season, which is tough because you're racing every weekend, you know, so you can't really make that many leaps and bounds of progression during the week, you know, with the injury, for example. So, yeah, like I said, we made big changes to the bike. That was a huge thing, just fighting the bike the past 2 weekends. And, yeah, like, you know, Jay Coop said, this thing's a beast to hold on to. So setup really does play a lot. Because, I mean, dude, no one can hold on to that thing when it's fighting and bucking for 35 minutes, no matter how strong you are, you know?
Take me through those last few laps as you tried to get around your brother. Did you have a spot you thought you might have been able to get him?
Yeah, yes and no. I mean, it's same with him. There wasn't really maybe a spot that he thought he could get me. It's just kind of be as close as you can and see like a little minor mistake and then throw it in or something like that. It's tough. So yeah, I was just trying to get as close as I can and apply that pressure.
Justin, is this you kind of stacking chips, building blocks toward things? You've progressed with every round. Now you led most of the day to day. Are you now at that point where you expect this out of you, and you're now going to be right there with these guys each week? You're always known as a good starter, great qualifier. So do you feel like now you've made that next step to become a legit title contender and podium contender every week now?
I think the team's done a really good job with my bike. They, I give a lot of credit to them. We've came a long way since just Paula. We made some good improvements going into Hangtown, and then going into here even better. So not really. I'm really satisfied with the bike, and I think we've made steps that way. And yeah, it's put us in a position like this. So we're gonna keep building from here. I was pretty disappointed after I got bumped off the podium last weekend. So this was a good redemption ride for me, and yeah, it was fun to lead most of the day.
And Jet, you kind of had this happen in Supercross. You had to kind of come back, right, and kind of build back and get back to that points lead. You're in that position now, a much different person to chase than you were chasing in Supercross. Did that experience help you, though, as we move forward outdoor? Do you feel like that experience from Supercross will help you? You know, we had a different season last year. Do you think that experience will build, towards a ability to do what you did in Supercross and keep Hunter honest as we move forward?
Yeah, I think there's definitely a few things I can take away from that. But yeah, it's you're dealing with a different person, so it's kind of learning again. And I know he's not going to make it easy on me, but I just have to make sure I just execute each start and each lap, because I know if I don't, he's going to be right there and going to make my life hell. So we just got to keep my head down, just keep on charge and make sure there ain't no 96 in front of me because I know that's going to be a pain in the ass.
And Hunter, I mean, it's 2022 all over again. You two again. Now you're in front. You're the rabbit being chased. How do you feel about being in that position as we move forward?
Yeah, it's I don't know. I don't really care, to be honest. It's round 3. There's still so many races to go, and there's so much racing, so many more laps to go. So I got other stuff to worry about than having a red background. You know, I'm still getting better every week in, week out from where we started before Parlor and stuff, dude. Like, no, I'm happy with where we're at and just keep growing, keep trying to win. You know, go on the gate, loving the 450 power. The starts have been pretty above average, I'd say, for me. You know, so yeah, it helps. The 250, we had to be absolutely perfect on it. So yeah, we try and bring that in and just good start and then click off laps. You know, don't get too hung up on the end result. I feel like that's when things can go wrong. Just enjoy the process and lap by lap.
And one more. Last week, a lot of compliments about the track, the prep and everything. Let you guys race, find lines. Seemed like it was similar this week. I know the track's a little different, has a lot of tighter sections, but do you feel like the prep was there again and allowed you guys to move around and find places to pass?
I hate to be the guy to, like, I never want to complain about a track because it always seems like, oh, he's just a Debbie Downer and stuff, but I think everyone can agree Colorado's known for its mile-long ruts and stuff, so it was definitely different with all the wood chip and stuff. Me personally, no, I didn't like it. Just a personal, you know, we come here, we expect the ruts from entering the corner to the next, to the finish line, you know, like, which I think is cool. You know, that diversifies it and just changes it up. But yeah, I don't know. I wasn't a massive fan of it today. I wish it was deeper.
Yeah, I would say if there was a few rutted turns, but they didn't really, like, they got almost smaller throughout the day or blown out. So I think I like the turns where there was no ruts, like you could kind of, you know, set someone up that way, but I think it needed more turns that were, you know, deeper, and I think a mix of it would be pretty cool.
I agree, but then also I didn't mind it because there's a lot more flatter spots, so I could relax my shoulder and kind of just sit. So I ain't going to complain too much because it kind of helped out in the end for me, so yeah.
Hey, Justin, this one's for you. This track, you seem to gel very well with it, and coming from the East Coast, Northeast kind of guy, what is it about this place? Does it remind you about that, or is it just the track that you like?
Dude, I don't know. I always thought it was the Star 250 that was, you know, a big advantage, and I could always do well with that. But, yeah, today I felt really good, and yeah, kind of just like normal here. So it's definitely a special place for me, and, yeah, always look forward to coming back here.
And then Hunter, we were talking about comfort. Right now, where would you say you're at comfort-wise, percentage-wise on your bike? Are you still looking to build?
Yeah, today was a huge step. I was really comfortable today. The bike was handling unreal, you know, for how much lean angle and crappy bumps you had to go across and stuff. The bike handled really, really well. You know, all of the things we really struggled with at the first 2 rounds were just pretty spot on this weekend. So it always feels good when you hit the mark, you know.
And then finally for Jet, you were riding your own race, but did you know at all what was going on with Sexton, and were you trying to keep an eye on him during the moto?
Not really, no. I was kind of just more focused on, the people in front of me. And at the time, I mean, Chase kind of was riding hard at the start, and I kind of was thinking in my head, like, he's pushing it a little bit, and I'm like, he might pull it off, and ended up going down. I think he clipped a foot peg when he jumped up. I haven't seen the crash, but you don't want to ever see that. So it kind of helped not focusing on him a bit then, because it's another guy I would have had to try and pass. So then I was just kind of focused on Hunter and Justin, but most of the time I was just kind of more focused on myself, where I can try and find the smoothest line and flowing line that I can hit every time, because obviously, like Hunter said, the traction wasn't the best, so you're kind of looking for the most easiest spot to take that's going to make sure you're not going to wash the front or wash the rear out. So yeah.
And then finally for you, Jet, your buddy out there, Chance Hymas, and Hunter's first podium for his career. How was it out there being able to, I guess, witness all of that?
It was awesome. I felt like a nervous mother out there, man. I felt sick in my stomach, but it's awesome to see. It's finally cool to see that come out because we ride with them every week almost, and we see that like every day when we ride with them. So it's like, I know for Hunter and I, and for Berner and Honda, it's like, thank gosh he finally put it into a race. And yeah, as you've seen, he rode awesome. It was I felt like myself. It was looking at it's like a two-time champ, you know, like he rode smart, hit his marks, controlled the gap, and it was yeah, it's a really, really good ride. I hope I see that Honda up there more.
Good job, guys.
Any other questions from the floor? Weege?
Great job, Tom. I might end up asking the same question again. Just the pain level and the endurance and all that, especially in Moto 2, because obviously you had someone right on you. What did it feel like the last 5 minutes? Or were you able to just block all that out?
Oh, you covered that, Weege.
I was afraid of that. Tom, you're so good, man.
I'll repeat it again for you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
So, yeah, it was like trying to, like I said before, it's like trying to mentally block it out a little bit. And I think it just helped with both those guys being there in front of me at first. And then when I was able to get around it, kind of, especially with Hunter there, I think it kept me focused on hitting my marks. And I could feel it. I mean, I was hurting for sure. My legs were tired. They were shot. But when you have him behind him, it's for an overall win, you kind of go numb to that a little bit. And you just do whatever you can to finish the race and get the checkered flag. So at that point, it was almost like I'm either seeing Jesus or a checkered flag. So, yeah.
And I don't know if you asked this one. Hunter, Chase Sexton, an aggressive pass on the first lap of the second moto. What was that like?
Yeah, I didn't think it was that bad in my helmet. I saw the replay and I was like, oh, yeah, it's a bit. I mean, that double in kind of went to that berm. But yeah, I was kind of like they put a lot of water on the track. So I was like, I kind of gave myself 5 laps just to, you know, not do anything silly and throw it away. And I was like, man, he's on one. He's pushing some pretty good pace. And yeah, I didn't see what happened, but I come over and there was a KTM upside down and I was like, oh, so yeah.